Hello, I am Musa Mkaliphi and welcome to yet another episode of Afroshowbiz News, the show that brings you all things art and entertainment from around the African continent. Now, to keep in touch, feel free to email us at afroshowbiznews@sabc.co.za. Also follow us on Twitter. Our handle is @AfroShowbizNews. Let's get right to it with today's headlines. A tribute to Frontline stage showcases at Maboneng. Malawi to host a 3-day event at the Lake of Stars Music Festival later this month. And hip-hop rapper Khuli Chana withdraws case. The Ikokovets Foundation, in conjunction with Shaka Sisulu, hosted a star-studded private screening of a documentary, a tribute to the Frontline stage. This took place at the Bioscope in Maboneng Precinct in Johannesburg. As part of the Rainbow Makers series from the African Oral History Archive and the National Film and Video Foundation, a tribute to the Frontline states is produced by Emmy Award winner Mandy Jacobson. It includes interviews from a host of liberation movement people. Rarely seen footage of Presidents Thabo Mbeki, Kenneth Kaunda, Joachim Chissano, and Kitumila Masire can be seen. They recount the true nature of these freedom fighters. Presented and narrated by Shaka Sisulu, a child of exile himself and grandson of renowned freedom fighters Walter and Albertina Sisulu, this documentary recognizes the extraordinary alliance known as the Frontline States. It tells the story behind Walter, Max, and Shaka Sisulu, who were reunited after living apart in exile for 3 decades. This initiative was also to celebrate 20 years of democracy in the country. One of the producers and archive researchers, Nhlanhla Mthethwa, came across the unseen footage while he was working on the documentary Plot for Peace. This was followed by a combination of old news footage from Botswana, Cuba, Angola, Mozambique, and Russia. The film had its world premiere at the 35th Durban International Film Festival in July. Mephisto is a unique gaming experience currently on at the Ituba Arts Gallery in Braamfontein, Johannesburg. The game is based on a contemporary interpretation of Fast and was adapted for the digital world in cooperation with playwright Benjamin von Blomberg of Theatre Brenman.
It is a physical game enriched with online and social media elements based on German writer Johann Wolfgang. The game format requires the players to register online and gather at Ituba Arts Gallery for the 6 game sessions that are available. The sessions were made available as from the 11th of this month until this Saturday. Each player experiences different stages and moments of Goethe's 19th century literature classics through a game scenario adopting the role of the drama's protagonist Faust. They enter the tempting digital world of Faust's counterpart Mephisto, where values and ideals are up for sale. Upon logging into the game, the deal between Faust and Mephisto is sold, the soul sold, and the game of seduction begins. While the players act as Faust, Mephisto remains simple as sinister, virtual phenomenon of the modern digital world. The game Enter Mephisto is cooperation between the Goethe Institute Korea and Korean game developer Legae. It is brought to Johannesburg by the Goethe Institute South Africa and was presented as part of the A-Maze Festival.
Online television is slowly gaining ground in Nigeria. One company is now trying to entice audiences to its digital platform called Ndani TV. Ngiru Banlowa has just walked into a small nondescript office in a suburb in Nigeria's commercial capital, Lagos. Ngiru is the CEO of the country's largest digital music platform. This is the site of Nigeria's newest and most innovative production houses, Ndani TV. It is a web-based channel creating content for a pan-African audience. Joda Sola Aseberu, who leads Ndani TV, says they were looking for an innovative product to tap into the online market, but she struggled to find cutting-edge content.
We looked around for premium content in Nigeria and even in Africa, and it was very hard to find, tailored towards our target market, premium, and also done at a certain level of quality. So we decided to build our own team and build our own resources, and basically it has grown from a small project at GTB into this media platform online.
Joda Sola points out that size is not everything and that the success of Ndani TV depends on quality of mobile phone connections. She also says that broadcasters are unwilling or unable to fund bigger, more expensive productions.
I think, to be honest, First of all, the way the media business and TV business is structured in Nigeria is flawed in that the people who have the platforms are not necessarily concentrating on content, and even content that consumers want to watch.
The word Ndani means inside in Swahili. Through their online platform, the team at Ndani TV offer their audience an insider's look at the African continent. To mark the 75th birthday of world-renowned music legend Huma Sekela, the Wright Associates and the University of Johannesburg hosted the inaugural Huma Sekela annual lecture and concert. Now, to tell us a bit more about the event, what the event entailed is Morakabe Seahwa, director of the Wright Associates and project director of the Huma Sekela annual lecture. Hello and welcome to Afroshowbiz News.
Thank you, and to your viewers too.
Thank you for coming. Now, the lecture by Oliver Mtukudzi was held earlier in the week. Tell us a bit about what happened at the event.
Well, as a Wright Associates, we felt very honored, first of all, for Huma Sekela to agree to our request to honor him by naming the lecture after him. And then cherry on top was his assistance in getting Oliver Mtukudzi to give the very first lecture, which was quite a splendid affair. The kind of audience we had there, the numbers and the quality was quite of a high standard. But also the interesting part, apart from the lecture itself, was the responses from Babra Masekela and Nomsama Zwai responding to the lecture that Mtukudzi gave, which itself was very deep. Looking more in terms of heritage, which are the areas Huma Sekela and Mtukudzi share quite deeply.
Now, still on the lecture, why did you deem it fitting to get Oliver Mtukudzi to come and do the specific lecture?
It was really the choice of the celebrant himself, Brahu, because he's been working quite for a long time with Oliver, and their passion is around heritage, particularly African languages and traditions, musical instruments and songs. So when you talk to him, he said, well, here's a person who's, who's talking to my heart. So I'd like to have him give this lecture.
All right. And now how did you as the Wright Associates get involved with this lecture?
We came with a concept, and also we implemented the program. And of course, we went around looking for partners, like we got you guys to be our broadcast partner, and the University of Johannesburg.
Now, this wasn't only just a celebration, but it also offered platforms of heritage, culture, and academics. Now, why do you think that such platforms are important, or such platforms should be had in South Africa?
Well, they're very much important. As the saying goes, if you don't know where you're coming from, you might as well, stick where you are, because you wouldn't know how to go forward. And Brahu and Mtukudzi believe very passionately in that. As a matter of fact, before the lecture itself, from 9 in the morning to about 3 in the afternoon, Mtukudzi and Brahu conducted workshops for music students of UJ and other universities. And they talked about how they came to do music, but also the importance of making sure that you keep to who you are. It's good to get influences from elsewhere, but you must always have your standpoint. And what you call heritage plays a very big part there.
All right. Now, what do you think are some of the key points that were raised by Oliver Mtukudzi and Babu Huma Sekela?
The title of the lecture was what makes the mark of how do you measure the mark of a man or a woman, and it went into the questions of respect of your own identity, pride in your identity, and also sharing with people around you, and never looking down upon those who are less privileged, but also commented on the state of affairs around our continent and different countries on the continent, how the music and culture and heritage impact on those in terms of governance. Brahu himself emphasized on those, looking or drawing from his own upbringing in Alexander.
I'm afraid that is where we'll have to leave it, but thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
That was Morakaba Siahwa talking to us about the Huma Sekela concert and lecture which took place at the University of Johannesburg earlier this week. The 4th African Oscars, the Hollywood and African Film Critics Awards, will be held tonight at the Saban Theatre in Beverly Hills in the United States of America.
The Nollywood and African Film Critics Awards, commonly known as the African Oscars, are the U.S. awards for achievement in the film industry, and the NAFCA Special Honors are awarded to recognize outstanding individuals whose professional careers have been marked with extraordinary personal and professional accomplishment. The NAFCA Special Honors were presented for the first time in 2011 to President Nelson Mandela. Recipients of this award in subsequent years include President Yahya Jammeh of Gambia, President Jonathan Goodluck, and President Ellen Sirleaf. Presentation of these African Oscars and the NAFCA Special Honors are made yearly during the second weekend in September. The awards are designed to globally promote African cinema and culture. The prestigious African Oscars are awards of merit and are considered the highest diaspora awards.
We will now go for a quick ad break, but do stay tuned for more.
It takes patience and the finest ingredients to craft a milk stout of superior quality that is made to be savored by the most refined palate. Castle Milk Stout. Savor the moment.
Technology is all around us and is improving lives across Africa, like how young Nigerians are connecting to the internet. There are doctors finding new ways to save lives in Cameroon, and the South African public transport system that is now getting Wi-Fi. We have gadgets, apps and loads more, some of which play a big role in Africa's growth. A huge part of this African growth is technological innovation. To find out a bit more about social media and technology news from here in Africa and abroad, join me, Siphumelele Zondi, every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. on SABC News.
Welcome back. Malawi will host a 3-day event at the Lake of Stars Music Festival later this month. This is a true adventure into the cultural heartbeat of a vibrant nation.
Lake of Stars promotes Malawian arts and tourism through international interaction and exposure. The Lake of Stars project was started in 2003 to encourage international tourism to Malawi, taking inspiration from events like WOMAD and Glastonbury. The project uses cultural tourism to generate revenue and exposure for Malawi. The project was also established to raise money for a developing economy, help promote Malawi as a tourist destination, and expose Malawian artists to international audiences. The festival has over the years attracted a number of people from Europe and from all over Malawi and Southern Africa. It won the Malawi Tourism Award in its first year and has grown to become one of the best-known African festivals on the global circuit. The festival will be set on the palm fringe shores of one of Africa's largest lakes, Lake Malawi. It will feature artists from Malawi, Africa and the rest of the world. The festival launched recently will take place late September and host other events throughout Europe and across Africa.
A new venue has been found to film the upcoming reality show Big Brother. The show was previously cancelled due to a fire that gutted the original venue. The show was scheduled to start on the 7th of September, but was held back due to the fire. No one was hurt in the blaze, and the cause of the fire is still being investigated. It was initially speculated that the show may be shot in another country where there is an already existing Big Brother house. The show is expected to air within the next month. However, the new location of the house has not been told to the public. Titled Legae Le Kae, which simply means Where is Home, is a solo exhibition currently on show at the Constitutional Hill. The exhibition is the work of Martin Lekotoko, who is one of South Africa's unsung heroes within the struggle of art. His paintings take us through his momentous journey of life, history, culture and reality, and he now joins us in studio. Hello and welcome to Afroshowbiz News.
Welcome. Thank you.
All right, now Martin, take us through your exhibition Legae Le Kae.
Legae Le Kae is an exhibition which I was invited to, which is currently at Constitutional Hill, and is more about my way back home, about where I come from as a person, where we come from as a nation, where we are going as the whole country.
All right. Now, Martin, you are from Mamelodi. How did this influence your approach to art?
Mamelodians are the people that I like most. That's why I've built my own art gallery. And they are very vibrant people. They are very charming people. My neighbors are always surrounding me. And they are always coming to my house for one thing or another, for meetings, or be it ever the social meetings or any other gathering, even some workshops around Mamelodi.
All right. Now, Martin, why did you think it was important for you to do such an exhibition?
It is very important for me to do this exhibition at this moment because I feel the need to express myself, and I feel that the whole world must know about me, must know about South Africa, must know about Mamelodi, must know about the people I like most.
All right. Now, where else have you showcased, or are you planning to showcase this exhibition?
This exhibition might go to Georgia at the moment. This afternoon, I'm meeting the Georgian ambassador, negotiating on how maybe we can exhibit in Georgia. But I exhibited all over the world, in Malaysia, in Netherlands, in Germany, all over the world. And I so much wish that my negotiations with a Georgian embassy comes very true.
All right. Now, Martin, what have been some of the challenges that you've had as an artist in South Africa?
The challenges are more relating to education in the country, which is mostly what my art is all about. It challenges issues around where we come from as a nation, the struggle of our own people, the struggle of black people in this country. It is so severe that one can imagine being one day being beaten by the police during apartheid. So I'm one of those who has been suffered a lot. So I would like the whole people to know that definitely we suffered a lot as a nation. We struggled, but at the moment we really have to throw it back, because all memories are declared as memories, good or bad, are all memories. So we should all take them as memories.
All right. Now, is there any significance to you exhibiting during Heritage Month?
Definitely, sure, because I like culture a lot, and I'm more traditional, and I like to emphasize again that there is a festival coming to Mamelodi, which is organized by young people. amasiko, which is more about where we come from as black people. So our heritage needs to be known. Our culture needs to be portrayed in a very good way. That's why I'm exhibiting during Heritage Month, and I quite like this month a lot because that is where all things starts.
All right. Well, Martin, that is where we'll have to leave it, but thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Yeah?
All right. Now, this week, we take a look at a book titled Chicken Thief by Fiona Leonard. The book follows Eloise, a bright young man struggling to find his way in a southern African country wrecked by political unrest and a crumbling economy. Through a chance encounter, Eloise is set to make some fast money, but the enterprise goes horribly wrong, and he finds himself in a complicated struggle to rescue a war hero and transform the political landscape. Fiona Leonard has traveled across 20 countries on 4 continents. She has worked as a diplomat, foreign and trade policy consultant, freelance writer, theatre producer, blogger, homeschooler, and author as well, and sometimes several of these at once. She now lives in Ghana, which is in the west of Africa. Nat Nakasa was laid to rest at his last home earlier today in Durban. The ceremony of the iconic writer and journalist was held at Heroes Acre Cemetery.
And fanatics of his work gathered in Chesterville to remember him. His remains were brought back home to the country a month ago, 50 years after he had left South Africa to study as Nieman Fellow at Harvard University. Nat Nakasa was a South African short story writer and journalist. He was awarded a Nieman Fellowship in 1964 to study journalism at Harvard College in the USA. It is suspected that his death in New York City on the 14th of July 1965 was a suicide due to frustration. He was disillusioned because he didn't find freedom in the US as he had expected. Instead, he found racism, something he had thought was uniquely evil to South Africa. This year, his remains were returned to the country. The reburial ceremony will take place this Saturday at his childhood home, Charlesworth, a township outside Durban.
I once saw a flower blossom through 27 prison bars of yesterday's unjust flames. I felt an old woman's anticipation for the country's first open elections. And I heard the loud celebrations of that flower's historic inauguration. I was there when Unity sang of how the Springbok never held anything back, and we saw a first-time band of 11 men, Shibobo possibility throughout the land. At the foot of Africa, time remembers how truth can reconcile a people. We carved our name into space, and on the world stage, our art stood united. When we blow that vuvuzela, the whole world goes into a trance. And even in that tearful hour of the flower's separation, we are a people who see the music and hear the flowers dance. SABC, sharing 20 years of inspiration.
Hip-hop rap artist Khuli Chana has withdrawn his case against 2 police constables accused of shooting him. This took place earlier this week. The police officers who shot and wounded Chana hugged him and apologized outside a Johannesburg court. The policeman faced charges of attempted murder, reckless endangerment, and failure to take reasonable precautions to avoid danger and negligent use of a firearm. The officers allegedly shot at the award-winning musician's car when he failed to stop at a roadblock they had set up at a petrol station on the N1 in Midrand, Johannesburg. Chana was wounded in the hand and back. At the time of the shooting, police were searching for a group of men who had kidnapped a Bedford View business person. The ransom money was to have been left at the petrol station. The officers apparently mistook Chana's car for that of the kidnappers. As part of the agreement, the 2 accused will undergo retraining on the handling of the use of firearms, said their lawyer. Nigerian artists are leading the way with 28 nominations at the Channel O Africa Music Video Awards. The ceremony will be held at the Nasrec Expo Center in Soweto, South Africa on the 29th of November.
Award-winning musician Davido topped the list with 5 nominations, followed by Tiwa Savage, Two-Face, Seishay, Casey, P-Square, Orazi, Jesse Jaggs, Flavor, Iyanya, Niola, Buma Boy, Final, Mady, and Dr. Sid. South African-based Nigerian artist MEG also received 2 nominations.
African Divas! How you doing tonight? Toto!
The award is divided into 14 categories, including the Most Gifted Male, Most Gifted Female, Most Gifted Newcomer, Most Gifted Duo, and the Most Gifted Dance. Others are Most Gifted Raga Dance Hall, Most Gifted R&B, Most Gifted Afro Pop, Most Gifted Hip Hop, and the Most Gifted Video of the Year. The Channel O Africa Music Video Awards, which was previously known as Spirit of Africa Music Video Awards, are Pan-African Music Awards organized by South African-based Channel O television channel. The awards were first held in 2003 under the name Real Music Video Awards.
Not even a, let's go.
It is about that time where we have to say goodbye. However, be sure to watch the repeat shows every Sunday at 2 a.m. and again at 1:30 p.m. Now, from me and the rest of the Afroshowbiz news team, it's been good.